All right, guys. So good evening. Happy Wednesday. We have a very special guest on with us tonight. I'm excited because I don't know how. I don't know how I ain't been asked her, she popped up and I'm like, wait a minute. She ain't been on here with us. We gotta have Brittany on here. Miss, boards looking extremely organized, and I just love the way she flows with things. So I felt like we needed to have her on so everyone can actually experience this and the things that she does with her team. And I just overall love it. So some may know, some may not know, but Brittany, first off, thanks for coming on. And secondly, like a hotel room behind you. It don't look like a house. Looks like a hotel room. But secondly, tell us your story. Let's start there, and then we'll dig deep into some stuff.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, thank y'all for having me. Super excited to be here. I told Carissa, super honored to be on y'all's Zoom. That's crazy. But one reason why, Carissa, we actually just painted back there. So we have nothing up. So that's probably why it looks so blank. But I'm going to share a little bit about my story. I have been here for 5 years now. So my story can get very long, but I'm going to try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Like she said, my name is Brittany. I'm a triple diamond with a business now, and that did not happen quickly at all. One reason why I love telling my story is because I started, you guys, so slow. It actually took me 2 years to promote to Ruby, and in that time, I was really doing a lot of work on myself. I had never done anything like this. I didn't know anything about self-development, like most of you probably. And so when I started, trying to promote and get to the next level in my life and in my business, I realized I had a lot of work to do. And a lot of that was my mindset. So I spent a good chunk of that time really trying to figure out how to be more positive, how to have more faith, how to have more belief. And in the time of that, I was also really trying to figure out what tasks to be doing. When I started, my upline actually quit 2 weeks after. And after I connected with another girl who, kind of filled that little void, we ended up having a falling out. And I don't think she's actually in the business either. So a lot of that for me was really figuring out tasks and mindset. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be talking with you guys about tonight. Just a little recap of after that. I always spend so much time on that part because I think it's so important. But after those 2 years, I ended up going emerald, diamond, and double within 3 months. And I got my fiance's account to diamond as well. And then a year later, we went triple. And now we're back in that groove of just really getting to press, So that's a little bit about me. I don't know if you want to jump in or if you want me to just kind of keep flowing.
Well, I did already give you a rundown, which lets you be able to organize it the way you feel fit to go over things, because I know it's definitely a lot of key things I need to take note of that you're going to be talking about, that a lot of people, you guys get ready with your notes on this, because a lot of what she's saying, it probably won't make sense now, but it'll make sense when you rewatch it and actually utilize it. So yeah, take it away. Take it away.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so one of the things that I find really, really funny that I'm kind of being labeled as now is organized. I was not an organized person when I came into the business. I did not write down anyone's names. I did not plan my post. I literally did nothing. Okay. So something that, has really helped me in the business is, thank you, Alexandria, is being willing to kind of step out of what I've always known. I've always kind of labeled myself as thriving in chaos. And in reality, I was just losing my mind. So, being able to get organized has truly changed the game. And honestly, you guys, this is something that I've really only been doing the last, I would say, 6 months. And in that time frame, I've really grown as a leader. I feel like Alexandria just said, I've been able to really step up boards for my team. I have been super, super intentional. And I've just really been able to use these tasks and things. Sorry, he's also building something. We just moved. So we got a lot going on. But it's been really helpful in being intentional. So I hope that these tasks that I share with you will do the same for you. Like she said, it might not make a whole lot of sense right now, but I'm going to do my best to explain. So the very first thing is get organized. So I'm not going to go into charting and all of that because chances are you've probably already watched some kind of like kickoff video or something like that. You've probably already done one. So the next thing I'm going to jump into is your enrollment goals. I am, like I said, I'm kind of being labeled as a green now, but I am actually more red, and I'm really driven with enrollments and money and things like that. And so I like to write down how many enrollments, how many 4-in-1s, that sort of thing I'm going to be doing. I have it at the back of my planner at the end of December, so I can write down every single person that I enroll and really keep track of that. So if you're somebody who says, I want to complete 2 4-in-1s, I want $300 just from that, what I would suggest is write down 8 lines for your customers and 2 lines for your distributors. What I have found is every single month, I'm also not a mass enroller, but every single month that I have mass enrolled, it's because I got really intentional with what kind of enrollments I wanted to have. So I'm challenging my team to do that this month as well. Once you kind of know what you're going for, whether that's a whole mess of LCs, whole mess of DTs, a mix, whatever it is, what I want you to do next is organize your tasks. So what I mean by that is, what are you going to be doing? I have heard a lot recently, I don't want to be doing the same things every single day. I get kind of bored doing the same things every single day, or people are telling me that they don't know what to do. So with that being said, I know there is already kind of some talk about time blocks. This is totally not my idea. I got it from Tamika, who I think got it from someone else. So, but it's really helped with figuring out exactly what to do. And I'm going to give you guys just a little chart here that I gave my team the other night. I'm going to see if I can, will you make me host, Carissa, please, so I can share my screen? Sorry. Okay. Also not tech savvy, so give me a minute. Okay. Can y'all see the content and task planning document?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what I typically do is core 4 and 1 more. And so for me, that means posting and stories is one of my core 4. Host to post is number 2. Messaging is number 3. Y'all, I'm sorry if that's really loud. Can you hear it?
It's low, you good.
Okay. Growing my network and interacting is number 4. And just 1 more is anything else I want to do. So like, for instance, it says, do or speak on a training. I'm doing that now. So that was kind of my 1 more for the day. But typically what I like to do is pick at least 1 thing from each category. And that is a time block for me. A time block, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I can also send this to whoever as well, but a time block for me is typically an hour. So I can show you my planner if you want me to. For somebody who's not green, it might be a little bit overwhelming, but it's really worked out for me in picking out a time block the night before. So for instance, what I would do is I would look at my planner for what I have going on tomorrow. And I'm going to stop sharing this that way. It's not crazy, but you guys hopefully get the idea. Like I said, I can send that as well. But what I like to do the night before is see what I have going on. So I know, for instance, I'm picking up my kids, I'm dropping them off, I'm taking them to dance, karate, all the things. I have to cook dinner. So I write all of that stuff down in my planner. For today's, for instance, I noticed that I had between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock empty. Of course, there's other times throughout my day, but this is, for example, that I saw that was completely empty. So I'm going to do a time block. That time block for me is going to be, like I said, 4 of those tasks plus 1 more. You can do it however you want to. You can do 2 or 3 tasks. You can do a time block 30, literally whatever you want. But the reason why I love these is because you can change the tasks. So for so long, I feel like we did a 6 list, and maybe you guys are still doing that, and that's, whatever works for you, keep doing it. But I found that my team was like, I am so tired of doing the same things every day. And so I like that you can change your tasks through this, but also not reinvent the wheel, because that's not what we want to do either. We don't want to say, okay, well, don't do the tasks, go do whatever you want, because that's not going to get you to where you want to go. So this is just kind of a reinvented way of doing that 6 list. You can also change the times. So something else that I was hearing a lot was, my day doesn't look the same every day. I can't, sit down at 9 o'clock every single day and get a power hour done. That's okay, because the time blocks for me, I'll write down what they're going to be, and then I'll just stick them in my calendar, whatever my day looks like the next day. So for instance, that 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock that I did a time block, I don't have that tomorrow. So I'm just going to move it somewhere else. Does that make sense? So instead of having to do a power hour the same time every day, you can just put it wherever you need to on your planner. The other thing I like about it is you can add or take away time blocks. So if I don't have my typical 3 hours in a day, what I would try to do is the day before or the day after, add in an hour. Just really customizing it to whatever you need, because obviously, guys, we're all going to be different. Our lives are all going to be different. Days are going to be different. Things are going to be happening to where we're going to have to be able to adjust in whatever tasks, we need to be doing. So that is my time block. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in as well. But other than that, I'm going to jump into organizing your social media, unless you guys have anything to add. Okay, cool. So like I said, I know that that's a lot. Also, Tamika has a video as well, and you guys, she's way more organized than I am. So if you have any more questions, watch that video. But what I'm going to jump into next is organizing your social media. So now you have your goals done, you have your tasks done. What I have found for this part has truly, it's so simple to you guys. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. It has changed the game for me, because I can easily see who I need to message. How many times has there been like a BOGO deal announced, or you're like, oh, I can't remember who I talked to yesterday, needed to follow up with them, and you're just like scrolling through your messenger, you're like, who was that again? I can't remember, right? So that is wasting your time, okay? And we are all busy. I don't want anyone to waste their time on doing that. So what I have started doing is cleaning out my inboxes, because that's how I talk to most people, through Facebook Messenger and through Instagram Messenger. So I want to make sure that those are nice and organized. So when yes, Alexandria, I love it. So when I go back and look at my inboxes, I know exactly who I need to be talking to. Okay. So what I do, and I'll probably have you guys write this down first, and then I'll give you a little rundown. But for Facebook, okay, so let's say you have your Facebook Messenger. What I'm going to do is archive my messages. Drop a 1 if you've ever archived messages, so I kind of get a feel for who I'm talking to. Probably my team, because I just did a Zoom about this. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so we're a little bit familiar. Some of us may not be, and that's okay. It's really, really simple. So what I'm going to do is archive messages from people who have said that they're going to host a post. They don't. I follow up with them, and they still don't. So I still give them a follow-up, even if they don't answer me. Now that's to people who say yes. Okay, I'm going to archive them. I'm going to archive people who I send a regular host a post message to and they don't respond. And I'm going to archive people who don't respond to me after I tell them happy birthday, because I don't want that energy in my life, right? That's rude. So I archive them too, because I send happy birthday messages. So those are the 3 categories of people. I'm going to show that next. So what that means, just so you kind of get a feel of who I'm going to be doing this to. I'm going to see if I can actually show you guys. I probably should have tested this out. Okay. Oh, that's why. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I don't know, it's still not working. So I'm just gonna show you guys and hope that you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I am in my inbox, right? So what I would normally do is I would go through, obviously I have some messages to get back to, but I would go through and anybody who, okay, so her, for instance, she has not replied to me about the host a post. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send her this message. It's super, super simple, and I can send it as well. But it basically just says, I'm finalizing entries. Did you still want one? Okay, so I'm gonna do that to every single person who said that they're going to host a post for me and they didn't reply. And what's going to happen, and I do this so fast now, is I can see that it says I'm finalizing entries. So what I'll do after I go through and send a whole bunch of those finalizing entry messages is I'll swipe over and then it's going to have this archive button come up. So I'm just going to archive all those people, like I said, people who don't reply to that message I just sent, people who don't reply to host to post messages in general, and people who don't reply to happy birthday messages. Now, the question that I always get is, can you get these messages back? So yes, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click your little self up here, and it's gonna show archive messages. So you can click that, and all those same messages are still here. So if you want them back in your inbox, you can put them back. If they message you, it will go back itself. So that's why as soon as I send that follow-up, I go ahead and archive it, because if they message me, I'm gonna get it anyway. Okay, so now this is probably what blows everyone's mind the most. How many of you guys stay at like 5,000 friends and you're like, I'm so tired of unfriending people and all the things? This is who I unfriend, right? Because they didn't want to support me. They didn't want to say, thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. And they didn't want to do my host a post. So to me, I'm working a business on Facebook, right? If they're not going to support the business, I don't necessarily need them if I have other people who are coming in, right? So if you're always adding friends, you're eventually going to run into this problem. So what I do is I just scroll all the way down, because these are the people that I archive first. And I just literally start unfriend, 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 unfriend. Yeah, super simple. And you don't have to overthink it too, because I know people are always like, well, who do I unfriend? I don't want to hurt any feelings, all the things. And I totally get that. But if you're going back to the people that you first archived, then you probably don't even know. So I do something similar on Instagram. I see a lot of writing, so I'm gonna give y'all a second and check the chat here. Yes, it has been very, very helpful. And also, I feel like I'm like a rainbow. Also, I do have yellow. So I did for a long time feel really bad for unfriending people and whatnot. But like I said, if I'm doing it in order, then like I said, they probably don't even notice. Okay, so I am going to still close my eyes and do it. That, hey, whatever gets it done, just do it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Instagram. Now, it's basically the same thing, but what I do there is basically using two inboxes. So if you have a creator account or a public account, then Instagram should already give you a primary and a general inbox. For a long time, I did not even know what those were. I didn't know what any of it meant. I really didn't care. But once I started archiving my messages on Facebook, I was like, man, it'd be really nice if I could have my Instagram organized too. So that's what I started doing, you guys. And same thing, I'm going to tell you who I do this to, and then I'll show you, because I just feel like it makes a little bit more sense that way. So if you don't have a creator or a public account, I do have another tip for you. Just hang in there. But for those of you who do, what I do is I message people that I am following a distributor message. The reason why I message people that is because if I'm following them, I have checked out their profile. I feel like they would work well with me. I've kind of already screened them in that process, if you will. So I don't mind going ahead and sending just, distributor messages because I've already done that. I've already screened them, so to speak. So I message those people a distributor message. If they don't message me back, that's okay. What I do instead is I send them a message that just says, hey, I know you might not be interested right now, but would you be willing to put up a post in your story for me? And I'll send all these messages too if you guys want. So basically, I send a distributor message. They don't respond. I send a host to post message. Okay. If they don't respond to either one of those, I check to see if they're following me. And if they're not, I unfollow them. So this is another reason why I message people who I am personally following, because it's a great way to filter that out as well. Also, if you guys are messaging on Instagram already, what you've probably ran across is you've gone to someone's face or their Instagram and you go to message them and it says, this user can't accept your message, blah, 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 because they're not following you. So I'm just easily unfollowing people that way as well. Now, for the people who are following me, I send a host to post message, just because most of the time I'm not following them back, and I don't want to, again, I don't want to spend time going through everyone's Instagram to see if I should send them a distributor message. Does everything make sense so far? Okay, good. I know sometimes when I talk about Instagram, it can be a little, a lot, but okay, good. Okay, so now that I kind of gave you the rundown of the messages, same thing here, you guys, I'm gonna have a lot, so I promise I respond to my people, but time block 3 is when I do that. So what I do, you guys, is I just go back, so I'm just scrolling back until it says 2 weeks ago. And the reason why is because I check to see, or I give them time basically to respond to me. And if they don't, then that's where I start implementing the 2-week thing. So I'm scrolling back to hopefully find some people that I can give an example with. I feel like sometimes seeing the visual makes more sense. Sorry, y'all. I've been cleaning out my inbox, if you can't tell, which means I've been doing a lot of following up. Okay, so I'm about at that mark. So for instance, I sent this girl a distributor message. She did not respond, so I sent her my follow-up message for the host to post. Okay, she didn't respond. That's okay. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go to her profile and I'm gonna click her, like the people that she's following. Okay, so since my name is the first one right here, that means that she is following me back. So I'm not going to unfollow her. She's cool. But what I am going to do, since she didn't respond to me, is I'm going to swipe over and see there. Oh, wrong person. There's the general button right here. So I'm just going to put her in general. And I do that to every single little message here. And what happens is, because I'm moving all of the people who aren't responding to me, I end up with both of my inboxes, my Facebook inbox and my Instagram inbox, full of just potentials. And so you guys, if you have like one message, like for instance, right now I'm doing a distributor party tomorrow. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm messaging every single person who I've ever talked about the business with to see if they want to come to my party. And so what that means is, yay, good. What that means is, because most of my inboxes are already cleared, if you're just like brand new to this, it might take some time. But because most of them are cleared, literally I'm just, do you want to come? 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 Because ignore him, y'all. Because I don't have to filter through, because I've already done that with this method. So same thing, if y'all are curious. you're going to have your regular inbox up here. And just like the archive messages on Facebook, you can still get to them here. Does that make sense for Instagram? Okay, good. So now let's say you're somebody who wants to keep your Instagram private, but you still want to have some sort of organization over there. This is what I used to do before they did the 2 inboxes. I personally like the inboxes better, but if, like I said, if you're wanting to keep your Instagram private, this is another great way. So let's say, for instance, I was talking to this girl about becoming a distributor, but I want to save her somehow. So what I'm going to do is click this button right here, this save button. And when I do that, there's going to be a save to collection option. So just like on Facebook, you can save to a collection on Instagram as well. Back in the day, I had PDTs, PLCs, and bonuses because we should always want to know where our bonus money is going, right? So let's say, like I said, we were talking about the business. All I'm going to do is click the PDT collection. And now what's going to happen is whenever I go to look at my collections, which it's been a minute since I've done that, so I don't remember how to do that right this second. But once you go back to your collections, all of your saved posts will be there, which are the saved people. So that is another great way. Like I said, if you just want to stay on private, maybe you're trying to grow your network or whatever it is.
Wait, repeat that one there. So you did collect, okay, I do collections for host to post, but you're saying do collections to save your post that you do. Re-say that part.
So yeah, no problem. So basically anybody who wants, let's say you're a brand new distributor and you're like, I don't really want to go on public yet. From my understanding, things could have changed since then because it's Instagram. But from my understanding, private accounts do not have the 2 inboxes. So what I usually suggest for them is to save all of their potentials on Instagram to a collection by saving their post. Does that make sense?
Oh, gotcha. That's for you guys that don't want to open your page.
Yeah.
If you post in public on Facebook, why not? Okay, open page. You can do so much more. People can come by and visit your page. They ain't gotta wait to get accepted. You ain't gotta wait for people to be your customers. Open your freaking page. Okay, I get it. All right, so I don't have to.
Okay.
I don't have to do that. Okay.
Okay. All right. So that is pretty much what I have as far as keeping like your inboxes clean. I do have like a little trick for collections on Facebook as well. Again, a lot of you that are on my team or who have been on a recent Zoom with me, you probably already heard it, but this has been really amazing as well. And I'm just going to jump right over to my Facebook to show you guys. So do we all, I assume we've at least heard of this. Do we all save our collections from host to, or our host to post to a collection on Facebook? Okay. If not, it's okay, but I just wanted to see our majority here. So what I do, you guys, is I will go to my saved collections. And so you'll see this one right here. It's called Bumped Followed Up With. Okay, so what that means is that's okay. Practice makes perfect. But what you'll see is I have one that says bumped / followed up. And what I found, you guys, I don't know if anybody has experienced this, but again, I told y'all that I'm partially red. So anytime any kind of host to post challenge, or if you guys have done like 75 and 72, anything like that was announced, I was like, I want to just get up all the host to post. And so what I found, which is not great, was I was forgetting to go back to the comments, right? Like the whole point of host to post is to go to the comments and talk to the people, but I was so focused on the contest and the challenge and whatever. So I started doing this to make sure that I got to every single host to post, that I followed up with everyone from it, and that I bumped the host to post. Yeah, Alexandria, hopefully not anymore. Okay. But what I do, you guys, is I will go to, I'm going to try to find one Okay, so for instance, this is in my November collection. I obviously haven't bumped it yet. So what I'm gonna do is just bump it really quickly so you guys can see. And if you don't know what bumping means, basically it's just a comment or a before and after or something like that that you're kind of getting that host to post back in action. If you guys don't know, Facebook is really keen on comments and interaction and things like that. So sometimes if you go back and bump your own, which leaving your own comment on your own post, it will put it back into Facebook's algorithm so more people can see it, which is what we want for host to post. So I'm just going to put a little message here. Okay, so it just says I'm placing discounted orders, message me. So now what I do, since I just bumped her host to post, I just click the three dots next to it, and it, hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, and it says add to another collection at the top. So I'm gonna add it to the collection. And then I'm gonna put it into bumped / followed up with. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is this automatically pops up. Do you guys see where it says remove from collection? Whoops. Okay, I'm just gonna click that button and I'm gonna remove it. So what's going to happen is as I'm going through these host to post and making sure that every one of them is bumped, every one of them has, a reply to all the comments, and I'm removing them, I'm going to make sure that, if there's 1 or 5 or however many left, that's what I still have to get done. So it's just, not letting anyone slip through the cracks. What I also do during this time, whenever I bump the host to post, if I haven't already, I go back and make sure that I've asked the host if they're interested in the business. So just double checking that I've already asked them if they are interested in what I do. That's really all I have as far as tasks.
I have a tip in reference to host to post on that part there. As far as not missing out on anyone that comments. What I do is instead of having them tag me, which a lot of us don't do anymore, I'll go back and click on that actual post from that person and click the 3 lines just like we click to make a collection. There's also an option there now that you can click to turn on notifications for that post. So that works better. That works even better than just waiting for them to tag you. You can just turn that on, and that helps me with not missing some either. It confuses me when I get a notification that says somebody blah blah blah, but just turning that on actually stops you from missing stuff. So just same way, just click the 3 little dots and you'll see a notification at the bottom that says turn on notifications for this post. So that helps you out with your notifications being on point. And then if your notifications is doing like the most from just a lot of extra stuff, you can go to those posts that got so much going on and turn off the notifications. Like, for example, if you comment on the Sunday night call and you just keep getting messages and you don't want to, just turn off notifications for it. So that's something that's helped me. It's been game changer for helping me because that stopped me from being that person that forget to go back and check it because that's me.
Yeah. No, that's why I said, that's why I said earlier, it's really funny. That I have become organized. It's really the only reason why is because I realized what I was doing wasn't working and that I had to change it. So that's kind of where I'm going into my next point, is, being willing to learn new things. And a lot of the stuff you guys that I've shared, I know I've mentioned Tamika, I know Carissa's given tips, I know, I've shared other people on here, different things that I've learned. It's all from getting on Zooms like this and from being plugged in and from being willing to learn from other people. I know when I was starting to promote, like I said, it took me 2 years to even get to Ruby. That was from YouTube. Okay. I pretended that all the people on YouTube were my uplines and I was just going to learn from them. At the time, nobody on my team messaged. So I didn't really have somebody to ask like a sideline or anything like that. So I just went to YouTube, you guys, and I went to go learn. And I feel like this is something that Carissa kind of wanted me to touch on. So, I feel like one of the things that makes people a great distributor, a great teammate, a great leader is that they're willing to go learn and do something. I obviously am not the most eloquent speaker or anything like that, but I've tried to go and look at, YouTube videos on how to speak better and how to do different things. And so if you're somebody tonight and you're like, I just listened to all these tips that she gave and I don't know what she's talking about, I challenge you to just be willing to learn, be willing to try something, even if it's not everything that I said. Just be willing to, kind of put that effort in to see, like, it might be what changes the game for you, just like it was for me. So the other thing I would say, I think that's all I have for that. The other thing that I would say is, for whatever you decide to do, I know we talked about time blocks. I know I gave a lot of like Instagram and Messenger tips. I kind of talked about different things like that. So whatever you decide, thank you so much. That makes me feel so much better. Whatever you decide to do, make sure that you're consistent in it. Whether that is, a couple weeks at a time or whatever it is, don't just try something for one day and be like, man, that was really hard. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that again. Because you're not going to see results from that, right? But being able to stay consistent in whatever you choose to do, that's not only going to give you results, but that's also going to give you confidence. And something that I really went through with my team last year was telling them, like, your fear, and I don't know if anybody needs to hear this, but I'm just going to go for it. Your fear of like things not happening in your business is not from not knowing what to do, but it's from knowing that you're not doing the things that you need to do. I know for me personally, I went through a lot over the summer mentally. For those of you who don't know, I had my Facebook hacked the week I promoted to triple, with like, I still needed like 1,300 in volume, and we pulled it off, but it was insane because I wasn't even using Instagram then. But the point of that being, sorry. I just stressed myself out thinking about that. But the point of that being that, like, whatever you're deciding to do, stick with it, because if you're not, then you're building fear from not doing things that you need to be doing. And so, like I said, we were kind of talking about that with my team, and I'm like, it's not that you guys don't know what to do. It's that sometimes we get so caught up in like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. And then it kind of scares us that we're not, and that fear starts to breed. So doing the tasks, whatever they are, you guys, you don't have to do it exactly what I do or exactly what Rusty does or exactly what Carissa does, but doing the tasks that, you're deciding to do, that's going to give you results and it's going to give you confidence. I kind of have this analogy that I wanted to share, but I used to do cheerleading, and I thought about this earlier today because I was like, what am I going to say to these amazing people on this Zoom? But I really wanted to talk about, like I said, consistency and things like that. But I used to do cheerleading, right? And so I fell one time and I was tumbling and I hurt my ankle. And so as I did that, I started to, yes, exactly. But I started to get really scared because I had not been doing what my muscle memory knew I could do, right? So I started not tumbling anymore. I started just like backing away, telling myself I was scared, all the things, until one day I did what I was supposed to do. It was like a back tuck or something. But I did that, and my coach literally said, okay, now go do it over and over and over and over and over again. And it wasn't because my muscle memory needed it. It was because my mindset needed it. I needed to remember that I could actually do what I was supposed to be doing. And so doing that and giving myself that repetition, that is what made me advance, past that. And so I don't know if you're someone who's had a setback in the business, or maybe you've hurt yourself along the way or whatever it is, but I want you to know that whatever kind of consistency that you choose to go out with today, and whatever kind of tasks that you're using, continue to do them over and over and over and over. And just like someone said in the comments, it's going to become mechanical, and it's going to give you that confidence and that knowledge to say, hey, I know what I am doing. I can go out and do this every single day. And when you know what you're like, when you have that confidence of saying, like, I know what I'm doing, I'm supposed to be here, then that's when the results are going to start coming. And so I know sometimes it's hard to hear, like, yeah, it's hard to hear, keep pushing, keep doing the things, but I promise you, that's what's going to get you to where you want to go. So I think that's all I have.
Listen, that was a lot. I'm just glad that you broke it down where I understand it. And it's something that can help a ton of people with the smallest thing. Like, I think that just your task list alone, because like a lot of people do need direction. I noticed that from when Alex be having the power hours. Like, some people need direction as to what to do for them to do it, to then be pro what it's late, my words ain't working, for them to be proactive and actually doing it. So that right there, that one thing alone that you just gave, that picture was like it just helped out so much there. But to give all of the rest of this to help out my inbox, listen, I'm gonna be on this. I done so much today already in general, where I'm just excited to continue it. So I know y'all have questions in the comments, but Rusty, I'm gonna turn it over to you. While if you guys got questions, I can get them to her now.
Yeah, I love your story. I like the consistency that's over and over. I love to see these stories emerge. And how many years did you say you've been with us?
5.
5 years. I've been here 20 full time career. And I told you that to tell you this, because I love that you have a clear purpose. And your clear purpose, even in the rockiest of roads, a person with a clear purpose, you really don't see the rocky roads. You always make progress. You'll be moving forward. A person, like you said, your upline quit in a couple of weeks. They didn't have any clear purpose of what they wanted. Even with a really smooth road, a person with no clear purpose won't go anywhere or do anything. They just quit. But see, they become very predictable. And because they talk a lot, but their actions are not conducive to what they say they're going to do or what they want to do. Anybody can be on top of the world when everything is going good. I mean, we're going into the 4th biggest run I've ever had in my history with Mark. And every time it gets really good and the checks are up, just monstrous. I mean, they're making what I call gangster money. Everybody can be. Every time you go to the top of a mountain, you have to come in to learn something new, because you have to go back into the valley where all the rich, fertile soil is, so you can mature up to go back to the next summit. Reprogram, get a new strategy to go to the next level. But it all wraps around the clear purpose and what your story is. And everything we do, your story has to be based around one of our products. We're one of the best solution-oriented companies in the world of creating solutions for problems, especially in health and weight loss. We have the best before and afters in the industry. I brought a doctor in this week, and she said, well, I want to see your case studies. I said, well, he'll go look at my before and afters. I got 16 years of it, 500 and some pounds gone, didn't come back. And I said, that's the biggest case study I've ever seen. Anything I have to do it. And I said, it's the top of a big bank prior to this. As far as case studies in the medical field, 36 months or whatever. And in rats, no, this happened to me. And so when she said, oh, wow, I didn't think of it like it. I said, well, 15 years of before and afters with the same stuff. But there again, it's a clear purpose. And when you make up your mind, I don't give a if it's a physical health or you want to create freedom or you want this to be your career. And when your clear purpose is, what's most important to you? Well, to me. Because if I wasn't important to me, I couldn't be important to this girl I've been with over here for 43 years. I couldn't have been important to my 2 daughters. And if I hadn't have got up and fought like hell with a clear purpose, I couldn't be important to you guys. That's one of the reasons we're bouncing out here to Florida early Friday morning to meet with Mr. Pentecost, as a clear purpose and clear vision of where we're going to go next. And where we're going to go next, it will be extremely mind-blowing. And when you have this type of support, how old are you, Brittany?
28.
When you have these type of children that's showing up, and they're well, I call you hacker. She's hacking into a new way, and she just streamlined a couple things I didn't even know. You streamline, you're gonna make it easier for me. So, and like I'm gonna tell to Steve Porter, our attorney here. He says, he and I, we're not too old to teach you, or we're not too old that you can't teach an old dog a new trick. But you youngins, watch out. When it's old dogs, we master that trick. And one thing I love about this, even though you're cross line, the upline bounced. I don't have an upline. Mark is a great leader, but he ain't no upline. And so the beautiful part, but we have to win together. That's why if Carissa and I or any of this team can do anything for y'all, Zooms, whatever, calls, three, whatever, we're in. And see, that's creates solvency in our opportunity, which great foundation as we forge forward. But it's all in creating those stories, your physical story, your financial story, and your story that you're so willing to help other people. See, what you've done is you're a perfect example of the law of reciprocity. If I come into your life and I help make some of consequence happen, it just reciprocates back into my life. So your random act of kindness and your generosity here, it flows right back through you and back around. And that's why we're so blessed and we're going to the next level, even with some great new products that's going to hit the market next week. I'm excited about that stuff. And I want all of you to take away, and I so appreciate you for tonight. You will always be blessed in direct proportion for the quality of efforts expended. And when somebody spends almost 50 minutes, almost an hour now, on a Zoom for another team that she's pouring into, she could be pouring into her team or forging forward with her team. That random act of generosity, but those blessings are only at Works Global right now. And just when you think you've seen everything, something else emerges. And it makes us all better. So we're all better together. Yeah, one is just too small of a number to win. And that's why us working as a team together, we have different organizations on here that we've developed these friendships over the course of time. And my team can't be the only one that wins. That's not good for It Works. That's not good for us. It's not good for y'all. Your team can't be the only one. That's why we're so open. In the last 20 years, everything I knew worked, I was willing to share it. And now that we're into this new era, when you children are teaching the old dog something, we're actually getting better at it. And so I just appreciate you so much. I appreciate your story. I do want to have one more question for you. What is your favorite product?
Oh, my favorite would probably be our coffee. I drink it every day. It helped me lose 25 pounds. And the biggest reason really was because I have 2 kids. But after my second, it was a little bit harder to lose the weight and I needed some more energy. So it just changed the game all around. That's also what I went Emerald, Diamond, and Double on. So
Is it keto or skinny brew?
keto coffee.
Yeah. That's actually come back to be my favorite now.
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, the coffee. Okay. How old are your children?
6 and 3.
6 and 3. Oh, that's a beautiful family.
Oh,
Boy,
thanks.
girl.
Oldest is a boy, youngest is a girl.
It's the multi-billion-dollar family nowadays. You got the best of everything. And now that you're coming after it and you're teaching them the entrepreneurial spirit, I got to tell this, Chris, and I'm telling on Chris. I flew over to Newark, and we had this big meeting. The hotel's packed out, and me and her son have become buddies. And we're sitting in the back on our phone. He's teaching me how to play this new video game. And so I got so into this video game, playing with her son, and he's teaching me how. Oh man, and we're really getting into it. And all of a sudden, I start getting scolded by Carissa. I was supposed to be up speaking. I'm back there playing a game. She said, "When you get done playing your game." See, I want to tell you this. This is about the kids. My children grew up full-time It Works babies, and now they're entrepreneurs. Now that I just had one that got married a couple weeks ago, and another one, they're both in It Works. They're doing very well. But see, you're changing the course of history. And hopefully, and the one that just got married, I said, I need a grandchild. I need a grandson quick. I had all sisters and I had all daughters. And so you're going to affect generations, great grandchildren from all you guys now will be affected by what we do here, because it's one thing that It Works has offered us: freedom.
Rusty.
Yes, sir.
Steve Porter, can I tell a real quick story about Rusty Lackey?
Sure. If that's okay with Carissa. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
And Brittany, thank you so much for being here. My goodness, and sharing with us all your skills.
Y'all are so welcome. Seriously, it's an honor to be here.
I know you're going to the top. You're gonna be Black Diamond one of these days, and then you'll be able to tell everybody how you did that. So thank you again. But the quick story on Rusty is this, and I posted this on Facebook. I did not mention his name. Sometimes a little privacy is better. But I said, and because Rusty telephoned me, okay? And then I was able to telephone him back, and we had a short conversation. And my post that I made, Rusty, was this. It amazes me at how accessible some of the wealthiest among us can be. And that got so many comments, Rusty. It was a great message to post on Facebook. It got a lot of interaction. But I just want to thank you for making yourself accessible to us. And what you talked about, it can't be just your team winning. Thank you so much for what you do globally for It Works Global.
It's my pleasure, Steve. Thank you for the kind words. And if you take on the mindset that we're all going to be accessible to each other, we're actually a big family. When one of us loses, all of us loses. The wealth hasn't been made yet. Even though we've made millions of dollars doing this, it's not been. You guys that are coming up with all your new strategies and how you can get the massive amounts of people, how you get the crowdfunding moving, get the crowd excited. When that catches on to this next wave, all I'm gonna tell you is just be ready, because when this one picks you up, it's going to carry you for years to come. And I'm confident, and I'm willing to bet everything with Mr. Pentecost is going to happen. Carissa, you have anything else?
No, I'm excited. I'm just ready to just filter out these inboxes. Like, I've been on Team Green all day today, so I might as well finish out this day green. I like how you split the inboxes up. That definitely helps out. I never archived because I thought they were gone forever, so I never did it. But that's definitely something I will do today. And I will utilize that list, because there's days where I know for sure, because I've seen how Trina put it in there, where sometimes people will overthink things and they just won't do nothing because they're like, it's too much. My brain said, nope, it's too much. So to actually give people tasks, I feel like that was definitely a helper for a lot that feel like they don't know what to do because they're not told to do it. You know, everybody don't have type A personality. Some people are actually on that coachable level to actually do what's told. So I love that too. So I appreciate you. Listen, that was key. That helped. that was big. I printed it out already and everything. Oh, let me hit. Sorry, guys. All right, bye, guys. On the recording line. Wait, where is it? Oh, playing host. Woo.